Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have any idea what time it is? It's time for We Gotta Talk, damn it. All right, that's my cue. All right. Hello and welcome to We Gotta Talk, damn it, a podcast where common sense and logic rule. I'm your host, Freddy Mak, attack. You knew that was coming. You can just call me Freddy Mak, or, you could just call me Freddy. It's all good. Just don't call me late for dinner, especially if it's good food. Anyway, before we get started with this next podcast, I want to thank everybody for listening. The group is growing day by day. People are loving the topics that I have. And listen, I'm just an average guy talking about things that are happening in life. And I think that, when I talk to people, I seem to have a different twist. And everybody has their thing, right? I mean, today's day and age is so easy to start a podcast. It's great. You get out there, you express your views. And this is what it's all about. Us coming together, average Joes, just helping each other out. Because, a lot of times you get the experts on and they're very clinical, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that, and it comes in handy, which, I do some reading, right? So, you listen to these experts, you get their point of view. Some things are, not necessarily written in stone, but you see how you can implement them in your life. So this is why I love the fact that anybody can start a podcast at any time and get out there and talk about what they love, what they hate, just what your passions are. So and in this podcast, we're going to talk about everything from dating to Tesla. I'm going to even show you how you can make money using your vehicle. Right? There's so many services out there for people to make money now through using your car by food delivery services, Uber, Lyft. All this stuff, Instacart, all that stuff. I've done it all because I consider myself an entrepreneur. So I try to dabble in things and see it. And I still do some of those things, because sometimes you're sitting around doing nothing. You go, oh, we can do this for some extra money while I have some spare time. So, we're going to talk about everything. But today's episode, well, before I get to that, for all the other episodes, and if you want to be a guest on We Gotta Talk, damn it, I got a great guest lineup coming after Thanksgiving to talk about some of the topics that I talked about in the past and upcoming topics as well. But if you want to come on the show to promote a cause, promote a charity, you got a business, you got a product, whatever it is, absolutely free for now. You can come on and promote your product. You can do it in studio, or we can do it through Zoom. So simply go to www.wegottotalkdammit.com. Send me an email directly at Freddy at wegottotalkdammit.com. Don't put the at in front of Freddy, but just Freddy at, okay, you got it. And that's Freddy with a Y. Or just simply Google We Gotta Talk, damn it, and everything will pop up, all the podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and the website, etc. So, if you're looking to come on, we'd love to have you on. Like I said, in studio, we can do Zoom if it's from another state. When I did the Freddy Mak show, man, there was like a dozen people that I spoke to from different states, just word of mouth. Someone said, "Oh, Fred, I want to get it out." I had a few people wanting to promote their products as well, but the platform has changed, so we're going to try to kind of veer away from politics and stuff like that, and just talk about everyday stuff. And of course, we're going to dabble in politics. Everything is political nowadays, right? That's just the way it is, at least for now. So hopefully one day we'll get back to normal where politics and religion weren't such a hot topic. But anyway, don't get me going on that because I will digress. But today's topic is love. What is love? Why is love so hard to find nowadays? Why are people struggling to be vulnerable, to let people in? And what is love? And this was actually inspired by somebody that we'll get into it in a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, because I'm not going to give out. You got to respect people's privacy and stuff like that. So, but I'm just going to give you my experiences and about why, when, and how things transpire and why they end up the way they end up. And again, why are people so afraid to be vulnerable? Oh, I've been hurt in the past. Okay, yeah, we all have. and it's okay to be upset. It's okay to heal. It's okay to, be skeptical. But at the end of the day, boy, you got to pull those bootstraps up, just like with everything in life, right? Everything, whether you're exercising or whether it's in a relationship, you got to say, okay, that didn't work out. Back to the drawing board. But it should never ever stop you from moving forward. I'm telling you that from somebody, I wait to hear my experience. And as an athlete, right? I like running. I like biking. If it doesn't work out, boy, you don't go, oh, I had a bad run. I'm never going to run again. Damn that pavement. No, it's, so it's different, but it's still, it's the same. It's all mental. So this podcast today is dedicated to a special lady. We'll call her N. And as we were coming to the end of our very complicated, if you will, relationship, she said something to me that, made me go, wow, I want to do a podcast on this, because maybe I don't know what love is, right? I think I do. I mean, I really do. Love is a feeling of, wow, you want to be with this person all the time, and you love being around, you love what she has to offer. She loves what you have to offer, et cetera, et cetera. But, sometimes I guess, things happen, but she, sorry about that. I had a brain fart, lost my train of thought, so I'm trying to recover from it. But what she said to me at the end of our very complicated relationship was, Freddie, I don't even know what love is. And I sat on that for a while. And I said, I want to do a podcast on it. And I don't want to do research. I don't want to know what people think love is. And I want it to come from the heart. No crazy notes, no dissecting, no bringing on experts, and just an average person having an average feeling of love and wanting to be with that person. So is it love? Is it an obsession? Really, really, what is it? So we're going to go through a little bit of that. And it's dedicated to this person who I hope that maybe perhaps she'll understand a little bit more what love is. And actually I understand why that question was, or why that statement was made. Because, after being out in the dating world now, for 13 years, and being married for, 21 years, I go to myself, wow, you step out and you go, whoa. What is this all about? This craziness, this dating, this relationship stuff, because to me, it's real funny, because to me, I really believe that a relationship shouldn't be complicated. It just shouldn't be hard. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're not going to have any bumps in the road. Of course you are. I mean, that's just normal. You got two different personalities, but on the surface, in a general way of speaking, if you are compatible, what is there to argue about? Why would there be a bumpy relationship? Why is there all the hate and the bickering and the why are you doing it that? You love what she has to offer. I love I love what she has to offer. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, it should be fairly easy. So, but and love in a relationship is different than love of children, love of pets, all that stuff. So love is but we're gonna focus on what love is in a relationship, between humans, like love, like between partners, right? A man and a woman, a man and a man, a woman and a woman, whatever it may be, a long-term loving relationship. What is it? So. By the way, I'm going to cite a couple books here and some stuff, so you can just scroll down and you can see the links and everything to some of the stuff that's on my mind, some of the books that I've read, etc. So, but yeah, it's we live in such a society right now where it's so many people have so many walls up, right? And they don't want to break those barriers down. They don't want to break those walls down. And I've always was the kind of guy that, you know what, you can't hurt me. Yeah, I may have gotten hurt, but you're not gonna damage me that much where I'm not gonna repair myself. I'm not going to let somebody have that much power over me. So yeah, in the beginning after my divorce, and I always hear married couples say this, go, God, I wouldn't even know the first thing to do. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I didn't either. And it was a freaking mess, right? Because first of all, you have to get over, the divorce and why the divorce happened and stuff like that. You're damaged, you're hurt, you're frustrated. Oh my God, that much time and, your kids and money. And, so you walk out of there somewhat beaten up, right? No matter what, no matter whose fault it is, whose fault it isn't, that's irrelevant. You walk out of there going, oh my God, how do I repair myself? And damage, I know sounds like a harsh word, but it's true. We've all been damaged one time or another in life. We all thought we were in love. We all thought, this was the person. But you have to really go through the 5 stages of grief, if you will. And sometimes they repeat themselves and sometimes they creep up on you and pretty soon it goes away. So you have to work at it. You can't always have the mentality, this is never going to work. I tell you what, I've been through some of the most ugliest relationship, family dynamic that I would never, as a matter of fact, one of my first relationship after my divorce, I thought, oh, wow, we'll call her Miss S. Oh, she's the one. Oh my God, this is great. Whatever. I don't know. It was weird, right? It's one of the first ones after your divorce, and you find someone that's attracted to you, and you go, oh yeah, this is good, until you find out that not the right person, right? And she was actually the first person that I ever dated that said, this is not what I wanted, but what I didn't want. Okay. And that's when I started reading books. Okay. And one of the first books that I read was, well, that's not when I ever start reading books on relationships and love and stuff like that. Right. And, so my cousin, David, shout out to you, David, said, Freddie, I got a book for you. It's called Conversations with God. I think you'll like it. I'm like, dog, you know me. I'm not a religious guy. I don't do that. He goes, no, it's not religious. It's not at all. And it really isn't. But it's got a very interesting twist on stuff, love and relationship. And chapter 7 just sticks in my mind like, wow, right? And it still does to this day. And sometimes I go back to it just to reference it. And it's, I believe it was chapter 7. Yeah, chapter 7. And it was about relationships and what relationships are. Now, I was reading this book as I was dating that lady, and I knew it was coming to an end because some things were just not happening. The icing on the cake is when the kids came downstairs and said, oh my God, Mom, we found out Freddie was an Arab. He was a Muslim. We don't allow saying N-words in this house. This is a Jesus house. I'm not kidding you. I quote. That's exactly what was said. And of course, the mother didn't do anything about it, which said a lot about her. So that relationship made me realize what I did not want in a relationship. Okay? Because everyone knows what they want, pretty much, right? But I knew what I did not want, and I saw the signs of it. So anyway, but chapter 7 was all about offerings. And I just went, wow, that is so simple, right? This is why relationships fail. And this is why when you look at other relationships, at least I do, I'm telling you, after my divorce, I was like in it. How does it work? Let's go. What are you supposed to do, say on your first date, all this stuff. And, how are you supposed to act? And I realized you're supposed to act the way who you are. That's it. Now, again, will you feel comfortable after a while with this person, wearing your favorite ratty shirt around? Sure, of course. But when I go on a date with somebody, what you see is what you get. Simple. I'm a goofball. I'm funny. I like to have fun. I like to poke. I like to stir the pot sometimes. What you see is what you get. Look at me. I feel like I feel like this is a dating video site. Anyway, but I thought to myself, yes. It's all about the offerings, which links to another book that I read. I'm almost done with it. The five love languages. So, and I learned about a lot about taking things personally. The 4 agreements: never take anything personal, right? So, but in chapter 7, it was about the offerings, and then I came up with this analogy about what that book was trying to say. And that was like, you go to a restaurant and they're offering you 3 meals, right? You got meal one, meal two, meal three. You eat meal number one, you go, never want to experience that meal again, right? Meal two, it's not bad. Okay, I guess if I'm really hungry, sure, I'll dabble in it again. Meal three, oh man, perfect, right? Or at least close to perfect, right? I love that meal that restaurant offered me, and I will order it again without hesitation. It's one of my favorite meals. And that's really the same thing with relationships, right? What do I have to offer? What do you have to offer? And I remember one time, I was excited about chapter 7. There was a girl I was talking to. I said, "Yeah, let's get together and we can chat and see if there's a connection and see what we have to offer each other." And she snapped at me and said, "I have a lot to offer." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I know you do, absolutely, and so do I. But you may not like what I have to offer, right? You just might not. I mean, we could be polar opposites. You could be the kind of lady who never watches TV whatsoever. Well, I like watching Netflix sometimes. You like spending time on a boat every single day of the weekend. Not my style, right? And there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. But he needs to find somebody who likes those offerings. And she's going to find somebody who likes to do stuff like that, right? And they both have boats and they don't watch TV and they both love opera. That's what it's all about, right? And that's why, sometimes elitists, if you will, that got a ton of money only attract those kind of people, right? So you don't attract what you want in life, or you don't attract what you want in life. You attract who you are. Okay, so find out who you are, and then you'll find the people that, and I think I may have got that quote wrong, but I'll get back to that. Okay, it's a great quote that, again, my cousin David shouted at me one day. He texted to me and go, "Wow, that is awesome." So you don't attract what you want. Yes, you attract who you are. So basically, if you are attracting people that are just not good for you, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means there may be something wrong with your soul, right? You may need to find yourself a little bit better to attract something that is for you. So, for example, Miss S, yeah, there was nothing there. It was an infatuation, completely different lifestyles. She was a smoker. I wasn't. See, I settled, right? I settled. And I think a lot of people settle because they want that attention. They want that affection. They want that intimacy. They want that sex. And yes, there's a difference between intimacy and sex. So they and I, of course, who's not starving for it, especially after a divorce, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. So you go out there and you go, "Oh, okay, I can start fresh," and blah, blah. You're finding yourself. You're finding who you are, what you want, what you don't want, and so forth. So, believe it or not, I thank Miss S, because she's a nice lady. We're all nice. We're all just trying to figure this out, right? But made me realize what I didn't want, not just in a person, okay, but as a family unit, because that's huge. That's very important when you're dating somebody. I look at that stuff. I look and see how the children are treating the parents, how the parents are treating the children. It's super important to me. If I see clashes and everyone's dropping the F-bomb at each other and F you mom, F you, no, that just doesn't work for me. That just doesn't work for me. And again, I'm not looking for perfection. Nobody is, okay? Nobody is. But there has to be a compatibility there, and it doesn't mean you're not going to run into some bumps in the road. Of course. I mean, that's just the way it happens. So, but again, I came across some great books, and, shout out to my cousin Dave, who knew I was struggling, and I recommended quite a few books. 4 Agreements, Mastery of Love, 5 Love Languages, which discovered kind of on my own, and Jordan Peterson has come out with a book yet, and unfortunately I haven't. I started reading it, and oh my God, I need a freaking dictionary next to me, right? So I resorted to listening to him on YouTube and stuff like that because he's a very deep guy and he knows his stuff. And then, of course, the book I was telling you about, Conversation with God. But back to Jordan Peterson, I highly recommend. Now he attracts a lot of guys as opposed to women, and a lot of women oppose him because they think he's being sexist. They think he's being misogynistic. He's known to be a conservative. He's from Canada, but he's a clinical psychologist. He's a professor. He's a professor of psychology. He understands how public policy affects culture and political views and the wokeness, and he talks a lot about that. So he's everything is like factual. It's not an ideology or an opinion. He has studied. He has taken his, I think, 60 years on this earth and studied human behavior on an individual level, a relationship level, and on a family dynamic, and as a world, right? As a world of people. So he knows his stuff, and he gets a lot of kickback because he doesn't like some of the indoctrination that goes on when it comes to, say, wokeness and pronouns and making it a mandate to use the right words. So, I love him. And a lot of, like I said, I resorted to listening to him more than reading his stuff because it's very deep, and I'm just not like, this guy's so freaking smart. It makes your head spin. He's so freaking smart. So, but yeah, I highly recommend men and women listen to him. I think we can learn a lot from him. And no, unfortunately, I'm not getting paid for these plugs. But his last book that he came out with last year, you can look him up. He's got many books. But yeah, it's a hard read. It's a tough read. So, but one of my most favorite books that so after this last relationship that was complicated, if you will. Okay. I thought this person was the one, right? And yes, I fell in love with her, and I believe that she loved me as well. And well, Freddie, why did you hang around so long? I said, well, it's complicated, right? And to protect her privacy, we're not going to get into a lot of stuff. But yeah, I thought that this was the one, but it just turned out that the timing was off. The timing was off. Her marriage and her current lifestyle was not in line with mine, if you will. Got along great. We loved hanging out with each other. It was really, really good. We had a lot of fun together, but it was very far and few between. And I really thought there may have been something there, and I think maybe she did too. But sometimes people have certain situations in their life where it's hard for them to put those walls because they've been through such, hardship, right? And I get that. I absolutely understand that. But it goes back to what I said earlier about, okay, how do we fix it, right? We've all been damaged in our life. How do we fix it now, right? Are we going to fix it, or are we just going to wallow in it? Are we going to take chances? And are we going to let it affect us all our life, right? Are we never going to be vulnerable again? True story. So I like to run, bike, swim, do some triathlons. So this is a great story. I heard of this one guy. He barely swam. He ran. He rode his bike a lot. He didn't swim that much, and he decided to go give it a shot. So he wore a wetsuit. It's almost impossible to drown unless you're just sucking in the water while you're swimming. So it's almost impossible to drown. So he was like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm just not doing it. So the guy next to him said, yeah, you're doing it. And he pushed him in the water. Sometimes people just need to be pushed, right? Never try to change anybody. Never. Because the minute you change somebody is the minute you don't love them. Okay? That's just a fact. Okay? And we're going to talk about what I mean by that when it comes to the love languages. I truly, it's not a matter of belief. I know I've been there. My first girl that I dated, Miss S, I tried to change her because I wanted her to quit smoking. I wanted her to eat more. She was anorexic. What am I doing here? Right? But again, men like to help out. We like to fix things. That's what we do. However, she wasn't satisfying my love languages. I'm certainly wasn't going to satisfy her love language because I think I believe now what it was. It's just not going to happen. So, it was, The minute you try to change somebody, forget it. And I've had that happen to me where somebody was trying to change me. I'm like, oh, this is who I am, right? So now, can you inspire each other? Sure, absolutely. I mean, there may be. Let's say, take for example me. I like to run, bike, like I said, swim, and do races depending on what I'm training for. Maybe working out up to 5 days, 6 days a week, or maybe I just exercise mode 3, 4 days a week. That's it, But that person doesn't do that type of stuff, right? And it's like not part of her lifestyle. So again, it's about the offerings, right? If I'm gone that much and she's not really into it, she'd rather sit and watch the TV, or I may actually inspire her. And same thing, maybe she likes opera. I'm like, come on, Freddie, just why don't you try it? I'm like, well, I might like it. So we can inspire each other, but never try to change anybody, because once you try to change somebody, it's the end. Because people, there's an old saying, the more people change, the more it stays the same, right? So people can change, but in their soul and their heart and their mind, I'm probably the same guy I was 20, 30 years ago. Have I made some adjustments? Have I become a better person? Of course, but some views and who you are, your personality is environmental and it's genetic. So it's hard to really completely change something unless you've been through a very traumatic episode, of course. And, you're alcoholic and now you're not. Huge change, right? But you're still the same kind of person that you were. Anyway, I digress. So I highly recommend these books because what they have done for me was, because I was always in search of an answer, right? And my cousin was my go-to. Oh my God, I'm experiencing this. Oh, read this book. Read this book. This might help you out. And one day he'll practice what he preaches. Right, Cousin Dave? He won't admit he listens to my podcast, but I know he does. Yeah, I know. Take a little sip of coffee here. So, and I started reading the not the 5 agreements, the 5 love languages. I started understanding why perhaps my complicated relationship, if you will, wasn't, and I kind of had a funny feeling a long time ago that it wasn't sustainable. But I thought to myself, what happened here? And then that's when I decided to pick up, the 5 love languages, and it just hit me. Like, it's like I didn't have to read the book to know what my love language was, but I read the book to know, how it was labeled, and why this is my particular love language and what makes me happy, if you will. If my partner gave me these certain love languages, and of course you have to do the same for that person as well. So it's funny because one of the love languages that I hope and would like a partner to enjoy is gift giving. I'm a gift giver. So here, let me go over words of affirmation, quality time, gift giving, acts of service, and physical touch. So when I'm reading this book, physical touch and quality time, those are my love languages. If somebody can fulfill those, see, that's intimacy to me, right? That's what intimacy is. And it doesn't mean sex, right? Although there is a lot of intimacy in sex, okay, when it's not just, you know what I mean? Anyway. So of course there is, but people hear the word intimacy, sex. No, it's not really what intimacy is. It's about being able to look in the eyes and caress and say you love that person, and cuddle and touch each other in a very affectionate way, to be intimate and to say nice things. I love you and I care about you, and thank you for being you. That's intimacy. That's intimacy. So, men like to do acts of service, right? We like to fix things. We like to help out. But you know what? Some partners are like, no, I got this on my own. I don't need you to do it. Okay, that's not their love language, right? They got it, right? Gift giving. I'm huge on gift giving. That's just how I roll. When it comes to birthdays and holidays and. If I have a partner, you get ready to be treated like a queen on Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day. Yeah, I know they're all Hallmark holidays, but I'm a sucker for it. Okay, I'm at your birthday. Get ready. I'm gonna treat you like a queen, and at random, I'm gonna surprise you with flowers, gifts, and just some fun stuff, right? Because that's what I that's what I do. That's my personality. Unfortunately, that may not be some people's love language. That may not be what gets them going, right? Like for example, I'm not crazy about receiving gifts. It doesn't mean I'm not going to accept it and I'm not going to be grateful for it and I'm not going to not appreciate it, of course. But like my kids, they'll say, "Dad, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday?" And I say, "Just you, just you. That's all I want." See, that's part of the quality time, right? So this book here, five love languages, is based on a marriage unit, right? But that's what they focus on in the book, which I think is weird because I think this is good for any kind of relationship, right? Even a friendship, right? What is that friend offering you in this relationship, right? And vice versa. I mean, there could be some leeway there, but I think this absolutely falls in the category of a partnership, and between man, women. It doesn't matter, right? A long term relationship and in a marriage, of course, no question about that. So, but a gift given is not. It's quality time. It's just quality time for me. I love being around my family. I love being around my children. I love being around my partner. I love it. Not to the point of obsessed, absolutely not. It's just, hey, let's talk. Let's get together. I look forward to seeing you. I mean, I really love our quality time together. So it doesn't necessarily mean every day, I got to have it. No, it just means, I always said that absence makes the heart grow fond. Well, I didn't say that, but it's been around. But I love that quote, right? Absence does make the heart grow fonder. And then when you're together, it's, you embrace it. You just you love it. It's great. You cherish it, right? And you just appreciate every single moment of it. So whoops, sorry about that. So again, I realized more than ever when I look back at my other relationships. Again, it's about those offerings, and those offerings you can narrow that down even to what your love language is, right? So, this person is offering just weekends on the boat all the time, and that's not for me. I want to, hey, let's go for a walk, let's go for a run, let's go fishing. Let's spend some quality time together, except on a boat with a bunch of people drinking. I'm not criticizing if that's what you. My friend one time, he goes, "Yeah, we had a really good time on our date," and he said, "I said, great. You going to go on a second date?" He goes, "I don't know, Freddie. I'm a nice lady, very attractive. We seem to have same moral standards, whatever. They seem to, but in the summertime, she spends every single weekend on her boat." And he said, "Not for me." He goes, and he has a boat. He loves the water, but every weekend, yeah. I'm with him. I'm with him. But you see how I asked him that question, how to go? I've always been that way. After my divorce, I always want to learn, hey, are you still seeing that girl, or talking to a girl, you still seeing that guy? Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Well, this. And it always comes back to, every time they say it doesn't work out, I think it comes back to the offerings and that love language, right? Because if you find, I always say everyone should just stop dating and settling. Because you may be dating that person that's for me, okay? Okay, and vice versa, all the way around, right? Just stop it, right? So we could really find that person. And I think you'll have a feeling on the first date if, you're comfortable. Okay, we'll go second date, okay. And I read an article, a lot of experts say that around the 6 month time, 4 to 6 months, this possibly could be a long hauler, right? It's possible. So, but I highly recommend reading the five love languages, because it also talks about that infatuation and the obsession in the beginning. Is it really love, or is it just an infatuation, right? And are you listening to what your partner wants? Are you understanding her love language? It's funny, when I look at these love languages, I could actually satisfy every single person that I date. If one of these is their love language, I got it down pat. If the four of them are not, I could still offer it, right? Because I love quality time. I'm always inspiring, trying to inspire, encourage people, give great words of encouragement and stuff like that. Quality time, gift giving, no problem. Acts of service. You need help, I'm there. You call me, I'm there. Okay, and just don't take advantage of me. Okay, I feel like I'm doing a dating site profile here again. That's too funny. So, and physical touch, forget it. I mean, you walk by me, you're going to get touched. And I just think that touching is awesome. That's who we are as humans. And some people, don't touch me, and somebody was like, yeah, when I go to bed, I don't want anyone touching me. I don't like spooning. I don't see what I mean. That's like important, right? It's like you're going to bicker about whether or not I roll over and want to spoon with you. That's a tough one for me. That means that's intimacy to me, right? That's intimacy to me. So I think that's super, super important. So, again, it's about the offerings. Like most recently, right? Over the last 4 or 5 years, it's gotten very crazy out there politically, right? I could never, ever date a woman who supports Donald Trump. I just can't. I could date a woman who's a Republican, who's not a crazy Republican, right? Or moderate that leans right. Sure. But somebody who supports Donald Trump, who has said the most horrific things about women, and is just, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother topic. But yeah, it goes to who they are, their character, and the respect they have for themselves and their daughters and their nieces, what kind of example are you setting for your nephews, your sons, when you support a man like this? So yeah, I have had friends say, "Oh, Fred, that's ridiculous. Just go on the date." No, I'm not. I literally knew somebody who walked in the place of business. Now, this person would have ended up being a contractor of the business, so not an employee, but went in there and said, "Who do you support? Who do you support politically?" Because she was not going to work for a company that supports such a horrible man, if you will. So again, even politically, or how about religiously, right? Somebody likes to go to church all the time. I see it on profiles all the time, on the dating profiles. A lady will say, "I'm a Christian. I want someone to go to church with." If you can't go to church with that person every week, then you're going to clash. You're not offering what she wants. She wants someone to go to. That's her love language. Quality time at church, right? And going out to breakfast and afterwards, and then go and visit the family on Sundays. That's and I can relate to that because I'm from a very large Muslim family, and I married into a Muslim family when I was married. I'm single now, of course. Oh man, I loved hanging out with my family, my second family from my marriage. I loved it. I loved those people. It was just great. I mean, it was nice. We got together as a family. We enjoyed each other's company. There was no alcohol. Everybody still had fun and laughed, and everyone got home safely. That's beautiful to me. Okay. And that's quality time. And again, so you're looking for somebody that, my family is my rock, right? And you're looking for somebody whose family is their rock. And you, one step further, you're looking to share that rock with that person, right? So it's not being in somebody's life, or not being part of somebody's life, but literally being in somebody's life. That's my love language. I love that. If your love language is quality time, with that person and family and stuff like that, and they just like being on a couch. I hate my family. I don't even know who my first cousins are. I don't know how you can be compatible with that person. I just don't know how. I don't know how. So anyway, these books are great. I'll have them in the comment section and everything. But yeah, this is to Miss N. I hope that explains a little bit what love is. I mean, I think that if you have a feeling that you always want to be with that person, or that person makes you feel good, then you roll with it, right? I mean, because that's the person that that you're relating to, right? And that's love, right? Love is not bickering every day. Love is not arguing every day. Love is not trying to change that person every single day. That's not what love is. Love is you have unconditionally accepted that person who they are, and you love every bit of it. You love it, right? Because you're relating to her, and the same with your partner, right? The same with your partner. So yeah, I believe that people settle way too much. I look at my friends since I've been divorced, and we're all in the same boat. We haven't had a relationship that probably lasted more than 2-3 years. It's done. It's done. Why? Because it was probably never meant to be, even from the beginning. But you stayed with each other because there was a part of your life that was being satisfied. Maybe it was she gave a great massage, or he gave a great massage, whoever talking to here. Maybe the sex was great, okay, but there was no, obviously no intimacy, because, like I said, huge difference to me. Well, I mean, it's just by definition. So I don't know. It's maybe there was a need that was being met, a one need that was being met. But again, when you're in a relationship like that, it's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable, for a long-term relationship. So, all right, kids, that's my experience, and we're going to go on with this, right? So I hope I have some guests to give me an opposing view, if you will, or agree with it. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But this is going to be part of a long-term a go at dating and love and relationships, and we're going to talk about dating and the dating sites. That's actually going to be a follow-up episode of this one, maybe back to back. I don't know. My podcasts are all determined about what's on my brain that day. That's that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. We'll talk more about it. Okay, if there's anything I said that was wrong, let me know. Again, this is, we're all learning. We're all in this together. And I absolutely, would love to have a woman on to give her perspective. Because when I did a podcast with somebody else a while ago, it was We Gotta Talk, Damn It. Then I did the Freddy Mak show. Now we're back to We Gotta Talk, Damn It, here by myself. But we did an episode on dating, and immediately got some backlash. They go, "Oh my God, you got to have somebody else on there to give, a woman to give her perspective on dating." And she's right. Yeah, she's right. So let's do it. Come on aboard. All right, kids, thank you so much for listening. Remember, go to www.wegottotalkdammit.com. All the information on this podcast is there. Links to the YouTube channel, links to the podcast platforms. Send me an email to get on the list for upcoming episodes, etc. Because I want you on the Freddy Mak show. All right, kids. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. And remember, we gotta talk. Damn it. Peace out. And you know when. Thank you for listening to We Gotta Talk, Damn It. For more information on the show, please go to www.wegottotalkdammit.com. Thanks for listening.